Right then, peepolas, quick update on the Bengal rig, although I probably don't, I don't know. Anyway, right, cabling, have a look. Now, one thing I will say with the, when you start doing this cabling, is that we could have made it a lot tidier, but obviously, by adding the extensions on so it looks good on the inside, you've then got to get rid of all the excess cable, so it does make it a complete mission. Now obviously once it's all in and everything and out the way and we put the door on, it will look better on the other side. But if I was just fitting all these cable bits to their proper places on the other side of the motherboard, we could have made the rig a lot tidier from behind. But let's face it, once the door's on and everything, you're not really going to know. I did go with just putting the hard drives in their normal slots. I was trying to find a way of making better use of them for like the final pictures, but there was no real way I could do it tidily without having to chop the case and stuff. It would have been something that if I would have been doing this as like a customer build or something, like in the days of old time to live custom days, I would have dry fit everything before I'd even sent the case for powder coating. But we had to run with this. The only thing I've got to do now is sort out the final cables for the USB and the front panel cables. So I'm going to give that a little bit of a look now. What I'm probably going to do is route them over the top of the board and come down the back this way, out the way, and then we can put them up through the gap between the power supply. But I'll show you that in a second anyway. I just wanted to give you a quick look at kind of the status as it is at the moment. What we'll do is I'm going to finish this off a little bit more, try and do a little bit more sort of like tightening, making sure everything's all right. And then I'll show you another view of the back when I'm finished, and then we can spin it all round and have another look. Pretty much all I need to do today is finish the tidying up and then give the front panel sections a bit of a polish, and then we're pretty much done. When cutting the acrylic for the window over the weekend, I managed to crack that, sod's law, because it was the last sheet that I had. So I've put a order in this morning to get some more acrylic. Hopefully that's going to be here in time. What I'm really trying to do now is make sure this is with Brian in time for Christmas so that he can enjoy the festivities by putting his headphones on, ignore the family arguing and stuff like that as they normally do over the Christmas period. And I mean everyone in general, not his family specifically. And he can just get down to some hardcore gaming. So yeah, long and short of it is, we are on the final straight, and I'm very, very much hoping to get this finished today so I can try and get it sent out to Brian this week, so that he's got it plenty of time before Christmas so that he can get a few bits done. Because what he is going to do is he's going to review the Corsair hard drives the second it arrives with him. He's going to do the tests on the Corsair hard drives, and then he will move on to doing the you know, being able to do all his own stuff, like putting the operating system on it and everything like that. So yeah, I need to get my arse in gear so that he can basically enjoy this for the Christmas period. And I also want to get this done, and I'll be blatantly honest with you about it. I want to get this done so that I can get the Nürburgring done, so that I can prove once and for all to Brian that he can't drive. So yes, this is it for the second, but stay tuned because this is probably going to be the one of the last videos that we're going to get done on this. But I'm going to move on with this quickly now, and yeah, in a couple of seconds time I'll be back with another update for you. Right then peeps, I've got you in my hand. One thing I will say, if you can hear any fan noise, it's actually coming from a rig over there that's just being tested at the moment. Anyway, we're all in, we're all on, so let's have a walk around. On this side, the only thing I have really still got to do is polish the orange paint at the front, and then I need to get the VB badge stuck on the front. It's like a custom badge that sits on there. It's the same shape as the Cooler Master one, just to give it that kind of little extra edge of being custom. It's actually pretty much the reverse of that one, so it's a black background with orange letters. There is a 200mm or 230mm, I can't remember which one it is, orange LED smoked blade bit Phoenix Spectre in the front, and then we've also got orange LED'd 120s on the radiator. It's not showing up very well because they're not massively bright. There's also one in the back of the case as well. But yeah, we've got one set of fans on the rad, and these are sucking air from inside and blowing out. So we've got that as the intake, and then we've got that as an exhaust, so we've got more going out, but it doesn't really matter for the time being. Obviously we've got the POWAAAAAAAAAAAH 360mm rad in the roof, which is also got the custom Von Blade badges on there. And then obviously we're using the POWAAAAAAAAH Bay Res in the front, which is showing off the Mayhem's orange coolant. I have added quite a bit of red and yellow to the coolant to make it a stronger colour, because there's so many other strong oranges like the paint and the braid that it really did need to pop a little bit more, so I ended up putting a lot more dye in there. But that's one of the things with the Mayhem stuff, that you can obviously add your own action there to put your, you know, bit of a touch on it, you know, and I think it works a lot better. I did use the Tygon hose, which is a really shiny glossy hose, and when you see the kind of effect that you get with the lights on the hose, you can kind of understand where I was going with that, so it makes it look a lot glossier. I've also used black bits power fittings throughout. Some people have said, why haven't I used a 90 there, why haven't I used a 45 there, that kind of thing. Well, there's quite a few 90s up the front, like on the pump and stuff and on the edge of the radiator, but down in this kind of main area, the reason why this one is longer is because I needed to have it longer so that the reservoir can still be removed slightly to be filled and drained and that kind of stuff, so that's why this is longer. The reason why I've not used any special fittings on this is Brian actually wanted a little bit more hose, so I probably would have done a 45 on this and a 45 on the top of the CPU block normally to make this hose a little bit shorter, but Brian, like I said, he wanted a bit more of a loop. Same with this one, I probably would have normally used a 45 on this one to have been able to have brought that loop a little bit tidier, but I did it specifically because Brian, it's his first water cooled rig and he wanted me to show a little bit more hose. So I've done it as tidy. I wouldn't go any worse than this, but not being funny, it still does look fairly tidy in there. Now there is a 30mm, I'll show you up in the roof, you can see it hiding, Bit Phoenix strip white LED there, and that's what's lighting that up. It's actually stuck to the radiator fins and it's kind of half nestled behind where you would screw the fans. And I've put it up there so it does light the system fairly well. I mean, you can see that it's all quite evenly matched in there. It's obviously catching the light on the hose quite well. It's not overpowering. I've tried the LEDs in several positions, and this is the one that I personally think worked the best. Also tried a couple of other kind of different brands of way of going about lighting it, but I think for a single strip light, sorry, which is just in there, keeps the cable in minimum, I think that works quite well. A lot of people have also said that the board looks a bit small in there, which I'll go down with that. You can see this is where a normal ATX would have screwed in, so the board is a bit shorter. But this again also helps that Brian didn't necessarily want it too tidy, he quite likes to show off the orange stuff. Now I've not got the plastic in the door yet, because of I snapped or I cracked rather, the clear acrylic. But that's the view Brian's going to get from inside his rig, so you can kind of see a little bit better now where I was going with the ideas of the colouring and stuff. So yeah, I've got to admit I'm pretty happy with this. I was a bit daunted, about taking this kind of colour scheme and stuff on originally, but now it's all starting to come together. It is going quite well with the way I thought it would come out, and I do kind of hope that Brian likes it. I also kind of hope that you guys like it too. So yeah, I am going to do a one last video, which I'm going to do separately, and it will be to show it lit up at night and get the studio lights on it as well and start taking some pictures and stuff like that. But this is just an update for you and to kind of keep Brian a little bit happier. But yeah, I'm really quite happy with this one, guys. Don't forget to comment underneath, let me know what you think. Also let Brian know what you think as well. But for now, this is Tiny Tom Logan with another video for you. Out.